Hi, welcome into Shaped with Kate. Today we're going to work through a couple of modifications for very common poses that you'll see in my yoga videos or other instructors here on YouTube that they commonly go through, and sometimes we show the modification, sometimes we don't. So this is a quick little video just to show you those poses. And I always say to all of my students that the best expert out there knows when to modify. Because when you know when to modify, maybe you're kind of having an off day, or maybe you just can't quite get that highest progression, then you can learn how to take that regression rather than taking a break or completely not doing the pose. So the first one that we're going to do today is the push-up. So like I said, most of the time when we're doing like a push-up for a minute, people are doing their push-ups very nicely, and then once they get tired, they push through, they let their belly drop, or the opposite way, they let the hips come up first rather than the shoulders. So I'm going to work down from just that normal push-up position. So once you get tired for doing it on your feet, you're going to come down halfway, drop to your knees, come up, pick up back your knees, and do it all over again. So that's called the half knee push-up. Then once you can't do those, you're just going to do normal knee push-ups. For any of these progressions with the push-up on your feet, the half knee push-up, or the full knee push-up, if you're needing just a tiny break, you're going to come back in a child's pose and come back into the push-up. That gives yourself just about 2 or 3 seconds for a break rather than just dropping to your knees and stopping the movement altogether. Alright, the next one is our crunch. So I'm going to start here with our crunch, building from the bottom to the top. So with our crunch, our hands are laced behind our head. Our chin is tucked slightly about a fist away from our chest. And we're going to pull our sternum up to the sky and lift our shoulder blades. Exhaling as we come up, inhaling to come back down. Good. If you want to add more to this crunch, bring your knees into a reverse tabletop. Knees are always stacked over the hips. Sometimes when we crunch in, we want to crunch your knees in. Keep them away, like so. Good. Now adding on to the crunch. Once we lean back and inhale, we're going to extend the legs, and exhale, crunch it in. This extension you can build off onto also. So my legs are extending pretty high just to make it easier. You could also extend them straight in front of you or extend them low. Good. Alright, final progression is adding in the arms. So full body extension, full body crunch. Good. After this pose, you guessed it, grab a weight and pull it behind your head and crunch in. Beautiful. Alright, now let's go to the next most common pose, is the plank pose. So, me personally, I think palms on the ground is easiest for a plank rather than a forearm plank. I've seen as I've taught students that it's kind of a personal thing which is easier, especially if you tend to have more wrist problems. So I'll show you those progressions here. They can work either on hands or elbows. So from here we have just our plank with our feet together. If you wanted to make it a little easier, more stable, you could bring your feet wide so it's not as wobbly. Another option is to drop one leg down, almost for a little break. And then you could switch the other leg. Next progression, dropping both knees down. So try to almost keep your hips where they're at. So your upper body is just doing that plank pose. Your core is still engaged and you're still working here. Beautiful. Continuing on with this plank series is the side plank. So from here, I'm going to go from the tallest progression down to the lowest. First, I'll start on my hand. We have both the arm and the leg extended for our highest progression. Or you could drop the leg down. You could also bring your hand to your hip. Another option is to stagger the feet for a little bit easier, more stable position. Another single leg one is to bring your top leg forward, kind of in line with your hip. So still kind of working here and kind of stretching that hip also. The next one here is to drop the bottom knee down all together. This one's a little bit easier. Again, you can find those same progressions we did before. So both arm and leg lifted, leg grounds down, or even arm grounds down. And I'll show you what that looks here on our elbow. So going through that again, both limbs lifted, one leg down, arm down, staggered position. Top leg is forwards for a single leg plank. Good. And then for the bottom leg down for the side plank, it's going to be more extended towards you. So kind of like you have a shorter leg here. Beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, or if you want to see more modifications for more poses, just let me know and I'll make a video for you all. Thanks for watching. Namaste.